Most things don't last. Advice fades. Motivation spikes and disappears. Systems break when conditions change. This is not a flaw. It's a pattern. What lasts is rarely impressive, rarely dramatic, rarely visible. It doesn't announce itself. It integrates. Most people search for what works, what's effective, what delivers results. But what actually matters is what remains after conditions shift, after energy drops, after novelty fades, after life interrupts. Lasting change is not about finding the right method. It's about surviving variation. Real life is not stable. Energy fluctuates. Tension fragments. Capacity expands and contracts. Systems that assume stability fail quietly. They work on ideal days. They collapse on ordinary ones. What lasts assumes instability. It expects interruption, delay, regression, and it continues anyway. What lasts is not intensity. Intensity burns bright. It creates momentum. It feels convincing. But intensity is expansive. It consumes energy quickly. It narrows attention. It amplifies pressure. Used briefly, it can help. Used constantly, it erodes. What lasts does not rely on peak states. It functions on tired days, distracted days, uncertain days. What lasts is not discipline. Discipline resists reality. It overrides signals. It suppresses fatigue. It pushes through. That works for emergencies. It fails as a daily strategy. What lasts reduces the need for resistance. It removes friction. It simplifies decisions. It shapes the environment. Progress continues without constant effort. What lasts is not motivation. Motivation is emotional. It responds to meaning, to hope, to novelty. It rises. It falls. You can't schedule it. You can't demand it. What lasts doesn't wait for readiness. It creates small movement without permission from emotion. Motivation often follows action, not the other way around. What lasts is not perfect planning. Plans freeze assumptions. They imagine the future as cooperative. But reality keeps changing. What lasts responds faster than it predicts. It listens. It adjusts. It recalibrates. Plans become references, not rules. What lasts is not balance. Balance assumes symmetry. Real life is uneven. Some periods demand intensity. Others demand recovery. What lasts is not pace. Pace assumes consistency. But progress comes in bursts. What lasts allows acceleration and deceleration. It doesn't turn speed changes into self-judgment. It adapts. What lasts is capacity-aware. It notices limits. It respects load. It leaves margin. Margin absorbs variation. Without margin, systems snap. With margin, they bend. What lasts does not maximize output. It stabilizes function. It leaves room for error, for recovery, for return. What lasts is restartable. This is one of the most overlooked qualities. Most systems fail not because they stop once, but because stopping damages identity. You miss a day. You break the streak. You fall behind. And returning feels costly. What lasts makes returning easy. No guilt, no penalty, no narrative collapse. You pause. You resume. Progress continues. What lasts closes loops. Unfinished tasks consume capacity. Open commitments pull attention. What lasts prioritizes completion. Not because completion is efficient, but because closure restores space. Space restores capacity. Capacity restores movement. What lasts respects boredom. Boredom is not stagnation. It's often stability. Systems that last don't need constant stimulation. They operate quietly, predictably, reliably. They don't feel exciting. They feel normal. And normal is durable. What lasts accepts slowness. Not because speed is bad, but because speed is situational. Some progress is invisible. Understanding deepens. Resistance drops. Recovery shortens. These changes don't feel dramatic, but they accumulate. What lasts measures differently. Not output alone. Not mood. Not motivation. It notices fewer crises, shorter setbacks, faster recalibration. It notices that life feels more workable. Not perfect, but manageable. What lasts is honest. It doesn't promise transformation. It doesn't guarantee results. It doesn't sell certainty. It works anyway, quietly, incrementally, without spectacle. Most advice tries to change you. What lasts changes the conditions around you. It designs for reality, not for ideal behavior, not for perfect days, but for the life you actually have. The question is not what will change my life. The question is what will still be here after everything else fades. What will still work when motivation is gone, when energy is low, when plans break, when progress feels slow. What lasts does not demand belief. It earns trust through repetition, through return, through recovery, through survival. This is why lasting change often feels boring. Because drama doesn't last. Consistency does. Adaptation does. Restartability does. Quiet systems outlive loud promises. They don't go viral. They remain. If this helped you think more clearly, you'll probably enjoy the next essay.